Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, it's beer review time. So this has been over 2 weeks in the bottle, the Harvest Pale Ale, and let's get into it and see what we got. It came out about 8.8%. Ooh, nice pop there. Well, 8.8 supposedly. Like I said, I have to get my calculations down, or I'm just gonna not even bother anymore. I really don't care. I had to rinse this glass out. It was a dirty glass, so I'm not sure about the head. But yeah, I gotta do a vigorous pour. But if the glass was dry, it'd probably be big. Well, that's pretty good. We got a two-finger head. Cheers. Taste the swill. Woo, yeah. So this is like what, 4 pounds Pilsner. I'll put the link in the description in the bucket, or the video here or here, wherever it shows up at the end, and then you can click and see how I brewed this. It's just from the Brew Bible, the older version, the first version, whatever. So what can we say about this beer? It's a pale ale, very cloudy. Obviously, I don't use gelatin and I don't do secondaries. So, but my beers are always drinkable, and I don't care about, I'm not commercial Captain Bailey, So, Hugo, he regrew his mustache in. My son had shaved off his last one, so we got a new one up. So, cheers, guys. I'm liking the color. We have a nice, frothy, super white head. We have that hazy, pale, goldish, wheatish, harvest, the end of summer look to it, which is pretty good. A little bit for the color. I'm really liking that. Cheers. Let's dive in. Well, let me see what we got. We got on the nose, through the foam. We got, the hops. We got some hop presence there. Some apricot, citrusy notes. Probably from the Cascade. That was the last hop addition that I added. You're getting like a weak version of an IPA. Obviously, it's a pale ale, so you have a lot of similar hops that go into it. I mean, the Cascade. If you put Cascade in anything, I feel anyway as a home brewer, I'm getting a bitterness on the tongue, on the aftertaste, and it's not even overly hoppy beer. I only used 2 ounces of hops, I believe. I believe one, the Willamette that I used, or whatever. You can look it up in my video. But I believe one set of hops I split in half, which was one half of it for the main boil, or maybe there was three. Maybe there was three hop additions. Maybe there was one bittering hop, which is probably Magnum, if I recall correctly. I don't know, but and then Willamette was split in half. One at 25 or 30 minutes, and then the other half at the last 15, and then Cascade as well as the last of the hop addition. And the Cascade is shining through. I'm getting bitter aftertaste, which is good. I mean, it reminds me of an IPA, but it's only a pale ale. But it has that IPA-esque thing going on there. We used USO5 yeast. Mm-hmm. 8 out of 10 on the Captain scale for a home brew. I'm digging the color because it's called a Harvest Pale Ale, so you have that harvesty, weedy, barley in the field, look to it. So I'm digging that. I like the frothy head. It's sticking around. Lacing. You get some lacing. Probably would, like I said, if the glass was dry, I'd probably have a lot more lacing rings going on around here. But the glass looked dirty to me, so I rinsed it out real quick. So, but the head is sticking around. Whew, rather carbonated, so that's a good thing. I had to wait 2 weeks. I tried it last week, and it wasn't ready. It was flatter than flatter than Hugo's chest. You know that. There you go. But not a bad drop. Definitely, like I said, I do the same beers every year, kind of like tradition. You know, I go to the same type of, fall festivals every year. So, my brews tend to do that as well. Like, so I got Harvest Ale during the harvest period. We're already in the middle of October, or the first week of October so far. So we're looking at. I got to do a pumpkin ale. Trying to find out where to fit that in. I'm not too worried about having it in October for the month of October. Because it seems like things have been getting a little bit later with my brew schedule. Trying to brew to a schedule. In life is with everything else, it's too hectic to sit there and say, oh, we have to have pumpkin beer in October. I like my pumpkin ales, seasonally, but you know what, fall into November, so I'll have plenty of pumpkin ale to take me from the end of October into November or whatever. I mean, depending on if I can brew it this month. So I'm looking at the recipe. Obviously, it's gonna be the same recipe. Basically, it's a red ale, like an Irish red ale, with pumpkin in it. That's basically the recipe as the base, and I just add my organic pumpkin puree to it, and the pumpkin pie spice at the end. We like it, so and I think the beer because I always was a pumpkin ale lover when this season came around, but like I said, what I've noticed is a lot of breweries are just doing the spices, and it's hard to find one that actually uses pumpkin in their recipe. And you can taste it. You can taste the vegetable. Like when I make it, I taste the pumpkin in there. It gives the beer a specific. There's something there. Like a vegetable taste that pumpkin, I guess. And you could tell the difference with a commercial beer if it's just them putting some nutmeg and cinnamon in. Anybody could do that. So yeah, I mean, pumpkin beers for me, it's not that hard of a thing. I mean, I know a guy, if you're doing all grain, it could clog the puree can clog your equipment, and it's like a mess and a messy cleanup. But I do stovetop brewing, and in a bag. I do lose a lot of volume though. It's really hard. Yeah, when you sparge and you got all that pumpkin in there. That's why I cut it down a little bit. Before I used to do 60 ounces of puree, and that was just too much. Plus, it made the beer, like I said, because I've added to the mash, so you get residual sugars from the mash, and it always made my beers really high. So if you don't want that, you got to watch out, because you are going to get some caramelization from the pumpkin and some sugars from the pumpkin naturally. So it's always something to think about. So thanks again. Please like, subscribe, and until we do it again, you'll see more videos coming up. I have another beer review to do, and whatever else me and the first mate get up to. So until we do it again, my friends, remember, let's set sail.